Welcome to Descriptive Analytics of Financial Statements class. So today in this session, we are going to cover Unit 3 called as Ratio Analysis. Okay, so it's a very important one and it's very much helpful for you to understand what is ratio analysis, how we are going to analyze the ratio, and how a company's data will be analyzed based on certain ratios. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. So you can see the ratio analysis unit 3. In this, we are going to study about the four major subunits. One is subunit 1.3.1 as a what is ratio analysis, 3.2 as classification, or we can say um, yes, classification of ratio analysis, and subunit 3.3 will be telling about that how to will be studying in this 3.3 we will be understanding that what is the classification, what all the classification under that, what are the subcategories will be there, and how we are going to calculate that subcategory. And lastly, in 3.4, we are going to get one or two practical problems on each formulas. On each method, we will be calculating the some numericals. Okay. So let us start with subunit 3.1. What is ratio analysis? Okay. So first and foremost is to understand that what do you mean by ratio analysis, what is a ratio, what is analysis, and how it will be together will be helpful for a businessman. Okay, a ratio is what? A simply one number expressed in terms of another number. It is a one prescribed number where it will be expressed with the another number. Okay, so which will be equivalent to the same number, or else it will be a denoting some performances of a particular number. Okay, for example, I can say that when you get a one particular results, okay, so you will find out a percentage which will be in a uh, which will be in a numbers, okay, and the other one is in a grades, okay. So that is what the percentage will be denoting that your performances, and the grade will be telling us that how it will be how you are getting or what is your performance, okay, and that numbers will be telling you that what is your exact performance. Likewise, a ratio is also what? It is also simply denoting, or it is a simple one number which is expressed in the terms of another number. Okay. So in other words, so what will be the other words? That a ratio expresses mathematical relationship between the one number and another number. So what is the mathematical relationship? How they can be denoted? So it will be very easy. It is very easy topic. So you had learned in you're in your mathematics time during your schooling time, you learn this. Okay, how mathematical combinations will be given, like in algebraic mathematics, in algebra mathematics, there you may learn it. That is 1:1 or 1 divided by 2, right? So that is what differentiating, or it will be expressing the what is the relationship between that 1:2 or 1 divided by 2. So what do you mean by 1 divided by 2? So there are two components in that. One is you're using. Okay. So as I say that you have a 2 rupees where you are giving 1 rupee to your brother or sister, to your friend, right? So that is what 1:1, where they are sharing the things. Okay. Very good example is that how we can share a things. Okay. For example, I have a one cup of 1 cup of water, okay, where my friend is also want a water. So what I can do is, he's not getting water from any other, so what I can do, I can give my share in that. I will be dividing some share to him, or else I am having a one chocolate, so where I can give him a certain part, or else we can divide it equally, half of. So for example, if you are a siblings, so generally it will comes. So if it is a one dress where you're getting, so that will be given to one day you will be wearing, the other day your brother or your sister or whoever it is, they will be wearing that, right? So similar things like here also, it is also expressing that what will be the relationship between that one number and another number. Okay, so ratio analysis is what? It is a very powerful and most commonly used analysis and tool of analysis and interpretation of financial statement. So what is the relationship between, how it is related to our financial statements? Okay, it will tells us that how we can interpret, how we can conclude our financial statement, what we can, or how we can tell that what is our financial statements presentation. Okay, so it will be giving its suggestions that what is the interpretation of our financial statements. A financial statements will be prepared by a person, and that person understandings, that person's preparations, and that financial statements, what it is denoting about a company or what it is performing about a company, about that it will be giving the interpretations that how these financial statements are there. Okay, so it is very powerful, very we can say very efficient and effective method to analyze the financial statement, and it is most commonly used everywhere. This kind of tool will be used. Okay, it also concentrates on the interrelationship among the figures appearing in the financial statements. So what it will do, it will also concentrate on the interrelationship amounts. Interrelationship in the sense, what is the interrelations? For example, I can say that, so what is the difference between one person to another person? Okay, so there are certain criteria will be there. First one will be a height, weight, color, and qualifications, knowledge, the mother tongue, and the facial actions, reactions. Those were the what differentiating or interrelationships which will be differentiates from the one and another person. So it will also, the ratio analysis also concentrating on the interrelationship among the figures which are appearing in the financial statements. So usually, generally, what all the financial statements, what all the figures will be appearing? For example, current assets and current liabilities. So it will tells us that what is the relationship between current assets and current liabilities. It also tells us that what is the relationship between shareholders fund and the long-term liabilities, right? Likewise, it will be defining, it will be giving a clear picture about what is the interrelationship, how it will be interrelated. Okay, and ratio analysis is also helps to analyze the past performance of a company to make a future projections. So it will also helps us to understand that how we can make our future projection. So what will be our future, or how we can predict our future, what will be our future upcoming projects where we can concentrate. It will also helps to analyze that what is the past performance of a company. So what is our previous company was, and what is now, what will be our future will be. Like it will be determining, it will help us to determine what is our future, what is our past, and what will be our present, or what will be our future, what is our past right now, what was our past, what is our present, what will be our future. So that will be completely analyzed by the ratio. So ratio analysis will helps us to analyze these kind of performances of a company. Next, key features of financial ratio analysis. So what are the ratio analysis key features? What are certain basic features, or what is very much important features are ratio analysis are having? So ratio analysis compares line item data from the company's financial statements. So it will what? It will compare the line item. Line item means it will take a line by line. It will take a one by one item or data, or a particular required data from the company's financial statements to reveal insights regarding the profitability, liquidity, operational efficiency, and solvency. So these are the very important aspects. So why we are preparing our financial statements, why we are doing so much efforts on understanding the financial statement is that we need to understand what is the purpose of why we are doing that. Because of what? To understand what is our company's profitability, how much a company is having ability to get the profit, what is its liquidity, how much it can generate the liquid cashes, what is its operational efficiency, in what time, in how much time it is operating. Okay, and solvency, when it will be getting solved, or when it will be going to have a loss in its business. So how much it will get, how we can prevent it. So this is what our main intention. So it is one of the best feature, one of the most important feature of a ratio analysis is to, it will compare the line item data. Line item data in the sense every individual data it will compares, it will understand, it will analyze, and from the company's financial statement, which will be revealing the insights. What is the insights of preparing that statement? what is the intention of preparing that particular financial statement regarding the profitability, liquidity, and operational efficiency and solvency. Okay, and ratio analysis can mark how company is performing over time while comparing a company to another within the same industry or a sector. Okay, it is also helps us to understand. It is also helps us to understand. It will mark a, it will give the marks. It will give the remarks that how a company is performing over a time for a particular period of time. What is our company performing? What was our company's performance? What will be our company's performing? Okay, so this is how ratio analysis will helps us to understand with comparing a company to another company. So it will be comparing a company to another company within the same industry. Maybe a same industry. For example, if I have a textile industry, so it will helps us to understand what will be the other company. Okay, for example, I am having a textile industry of a Louis Philippe. Okay, so the another person, my friend is having a some opponent is having a textile industry of a Peter England. Okay, so it will helps us to understand that what is the comparison between them, what that Peter England company's performances, what is my Louis Philippe company's performances, how it will be performing, how it was performant, how it was performances, how it is performing right now, and what will be its performance in future for a period of time, for a over of time. Okay, and within the same industry, it may be a same industry or a sector. Okay, for example, my sector is same. Okay, so when it comes to a matter of industry, industry is not a small thing. Okay, industry is a very big thing. Where are so many sectors, so many departments will be there. Where, for example, I can give you the finance and production. Okay, so how finance will be generated, how a production will be taken place, how a production efficiency will be taken place, what is the financial efficiency. Okay, so this will helps us to understand that what is financial performance, financial that financial sector's performance in a company, what was its performance, how it is performing right now, what will be its performance in future. Likewise, productions also, what is the operational or production efficiency was previous and how it is currently and what will be its future, right? So these all will be understood, this all will be analyzed by the ratio analysis, and this ratio analysis will mark that how these companies perform. Okay, next feature is while ratios offer useful insight into a company. So ratios will what? It will offer us a useful insight. Okay, it will not give you a random insight. It will give a very much clear cut, very much prominent, useful insight that into a company that how ratio will be what is the understanding, what is the analysis result, and they should be paired with the other metrics. Okay, so we can use other metrics where we can compare it, where we can use it, and to obtain a broader picture of a company's financial health. So for what purpose we do? Because to understand, to have a broader picture of a company's financial health. What is my company's finance health? Okay, how it is performing, financial health in the sense why, how my company is performing, how it is getting financial insights. Okay, how it is behaving in a performance in regarding financial, whether it is getting developed or it is getting reduced, or it is not reduced or not developed, it is in a constant matter. Okay, so this will be understood, this will be known by the ratio analysis. So these are the key features of ratio analysis. Next and very important segment is the advantages and limitations of a ratio analysis. As you know that advantages and limitations are what? Those are the two faces of a single coin, where both are interdependent and very much important as well. Okay, so let us see that what are the advantages and limitations of a ratio analysis. So you can see that there are advantages and limitations also listed. So first one is useful in analysis of financial statements. So what it means is it will be helps us to understand the financial statement. It will help us to analyze what is our financial statement, how it is performing, how it is helping a business. Okay, so it also tells us that this ratio analysis is the most important. Okay, so ratio analysis is the most important tool available for analyzing the financial statements. So it is what? It is the most important tool. It is very much important tool which is available for analyzing our financial statements. That is profit and loss account and balance sheet, such analysis. Okay. So what are the financial statements we can say? Profit and loss account and balance sheet. These are the two major sectors, and such analysis is made not only by management but also by outside parties like bankers, creditors, and investors. So this will be what? This analysis is not only made by the management, but it is also made by the, which is also used by the other outside parties or our stakeholders. Okay. So why they do? External stakeholders, why they do? Bankers will be looking into our ratio analysis. They are looking into ratio analysis. They are looking into our financial statement, that whether to give a financial help or not, whether to give a loan or not. Okay. And the creditors will be doing that, whether to give a credit or not to this company, and investors will be looking into that. They are in their own thought that whether we are going to get the profit or not. Okay. When we are investing in this company, whether we'll get a return or not. So that is what the major advantage. So it will helps the outside stakeholders to analyze the one company's financial statement. Next comes useful in improving the future performance. It will helps to it is useful in improving the financial future performance. So how we can improve our future performance? So this ratio analysis indicate that the weak spots of the businesses. Okay. So it will identify, it will shows that what is our weaker sections where we can improvise ourselves. Okay. And it also helps to overcoming in a such a weakness and improving the overall performances. So it helps in managing in overcoming from the such weaknesses. So how they can overcome, and it is also helps us do that how we can improvise our overall performances of a company in the future. Okay. So this is the second advantage. Next, third is it is useful in interfirm comparison. So it is also useful, as I indicated, as I told in a previous feature. It helps us to understand that how we can compare ourselves with the another company like Louis Philippe and Peter England. So these two companies can understand by way of getting the ratio analysis of their financial statements. Okay. So this comparison of the performance of one firm with another can be made only when absolute data is converted into comparable ratios. So when it will be happen, when your both the company's data will be converted into the absolute data, those whatever the data will be there, whatever the required data will be there for a ratio analysis, when it is converted into comparable ratios, then only we can understand the each company's performances. Okay. So next is useful in judging the efficiency of a business. Okay. So it will be helps us to that. It will helps us to understand. It will helps us to find out the what is the efficiency. It will judge the company's efficiency of a business. It will helps us to understand what is the efficiency, what is the timeliness, how they can improvise their timeliness. Okay. So this helps in the judging the efficiency of business by liquidity, solvency, and profitability. So based on three major sectors, that is, one is liquidity, profitability, and solvency. So these are the three major ways in which certain ratios will be there. Based on that, it will understand the efficiency of a business and it will give the judgment. Okay. Next is it is useful in simplifying accounting figures. Okay. So in accounting terms, there are so many complex of accounting data presented in the profit and loss account and balance sheet. Balance sheet will be simplified. So in balance sheet and profit and loss account, there are so many complex data will be there. Okay. Certain transactions will be there, certain errors will be there, that will be simplified by and simplified, summarized, and systematized by with the help of systematized with the help of the ratio analysis, as to make it easy for the easily understandable. So each and individual can understand it very easily. Right. So this is what the advantages of the ratio analysis. Next, we'll go for another phase, that is limitations. So limitations are reliability of ratios dependent on the correctness of a basic data. So it is completely dependent on that. We should have the proper data, correct, of the basic data. There should be a proper basic data should be there. Okay, an individual ratio may be itself meaningless. Sometimes certain ratios will not give a proper definition. Okay, so that's why it gives the limitation to the company. Okay, and ratios are not always comparable. Okay, so some certain ratios are there where we cannot compare it. Okay, for example, we can say that based on fixed asset ratio. Okay, so sometimes it is depend on the companies well, that certain companies will be having more fixed assets and certain companies will be having very less fixed assets. So because of that we cannot compare. So all ratios will be not always a comparable. Okay, sometimes ratios will be misleading, give a misleading picture. Okay, so sometimes these ratios may give the misleading pictures of a this the company's financial statements. Okay, sometimes it may mislead it because of certain errors or certain improper maintenance also we can say, or improper datas. Okay, next, ratios ignore the qualitative factors. Okay, so ratios will not worried about the qualitative factors. It is only worried about quantitative factors where the data will be presented in the financial statement. So this is it for the ratio analysis. That's subunit 3.1 for the today's session. I hope all of you understood. Thank you for being there. Have a good day. Thank you.